Hi, and thank you for watching an Adcquire video tutorial. My name is David and I'll be showing you how easy it is to advertise your product using our revolutionary marketing platform. This video is the first of a series of video tutorials that will take you step by step in advertising with Adcquire. We made our user interface extremely easy to use, so it will be simple for anyone to create and manage their marketing campaign. While very simple to use, Adcquire is after all a new technology, and as such we knew it's best if we showed you how to use it by example. After that, I'm sure you'll be using it just like the pros, and instead of focusing on a technology, you'll be able to focus on the most important thing, which is bringing your product to the masses. We wanted to make this tutorial as close as possible to how people will use our platform. So we've created a neat little product, and I'll show you how simple and easy it is to advertise it. Here's the product. It's called Vitalis. The first thing you'll notice about it is that it's a very cool box, but outside of that, it's actually a chocolate that is also a multivitamin. Pretty neat. We find that many products have something unique about them. Their unique attributes are usually conveyed on the product's packaging. Before you create a campaign, the first thing you need to remember to do is to think which features or attributes that make your product unique you want to advertise. The advertisement will be your product. Adcquire is a tool to enhance awareness of these attributes or features. It brings people to your product and asks them to learn about these features. If they never had a chance to hold your product, Adcquire in this case serves as a unique survey tool for discovery. Now that we have a product we want to advertise, let's go to my computer screen and take it from there. Okay, thank you for joining my computer screen. Okay, so the first page we have here is Adquire's homepage. Now here, if you haven't registered yet, you can do it very easily through here. And if you have, you can just log in. So I'm logged in currently to my account. And the first thing we'll see, I actually started an account. There are no campaigns to it. It's just starting fresh, just like you. Okay, so we have the snapshot panel. And basically what we have here, we have the alerts, you can see how many active campaigns we have. We can see the performance tab, which by the way, this is currently when you start, it's just an image. But the moment your campaigns go live, you'll see an interactive graphic that would go in accordance to the grab attempts and grabs that are happening in real time. We could see how many campaigns we have currently running, the average cost per grab, which we'll get to very quickly, and we could see how many grabs we had in total. Okay, the alerts, by the way, this is mainly if you have some notifications that you should be aware of. For example, if the budget is running out, or if you want to see if you should increase the activity or the participation amount with the grab targets. This is basically where you'll get more alerts. You could actually access those through here. This I believe it just shows a bit. I think about something about 4, but all of them are accessible through here. Okay, so what we see here, we have the campaign wizard, which is how we create new campaigns. We can actually do it through this page as well, but it's just for convenience. It's also on a snapshot page. And here we have helps and tips. You could also access them through the help section right here. And you'll see there are plenty there's plenty of information. Now, if there's something that you don't find here, you could always feel free to contact us either via email or chat or give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, so let's start our new campaign, first campaign. Now, with the campaign wizards, it has 4 different steps and 2 sub-steps. We'll get through those, each and every one, and I'll explain each step what we're doing. By the way, you'll notice that every time that I switch from the input box, the wizard help here changes. So if you want to know a bit more information about what you're typing in, that's actually very useful. Okay, so our product name is Vitalis. So I have it right here already ready. And the model subname, what basically that input box is supposed to be for products that we have different different versions of the products. So for example, in our case with the Vitalis, we have it's called noir, so it's dark chocolate. But we could have also white chocolate. We could have caramel flavor, coffee flavor. So basically here we'll just say that right now this is a noir version, or we could call it dark chocolate. So that will be the subname. or the model type. The brand, this is where you basically put your brand name. Now it could either be, in our case, Vitalis, since it doesn't really exist, or a brand. So we've added about 70,000 different brands, so it's very likely that your brand is already here. So all you have to do is to just start typing the name or the first letter, and it will show up. But in our case, let's just say that it's a new brand. We'll call it Health Labs Inc. All right. It will tell us that it doesn't exist right now, but it will add it later on in the database. Okay, so now we get to the UPC EAN code. Each and every product that is out there for consumers or at retailers needs to have a UPC or EAN code. So you would insert that right here. But alternatively, you can actually generate your own QR code specifically for this campaign. And so if you want, you could either purchase a UPC code from the GS1 website. But if you don't want to do that, you just want to have a unique QR code for your product, just specifically for this campaign, you can definitely do that through here. Also, a very cool thing that I found out, there's a company called QRlicious, and they do really cool designs for custom QR codes. So if you don't want to have that boring black and white code, you could really have really cool designs. So check them out. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's say that in our case, we'll stick to the QR code. Now, we're at the product category. We have the main category and the two subcategory levels. That's important because we want to make sure that our product is in the correct place. Now, it's basically just like, or the same way that you would go and purchase a product. You would go and find a chocolate item in the food section of the store. So we want to make sure that our product corresponds to that category. And that's pretty much how you would bid also on the paper grab. It's not keywords bidding. It's specifically to those categories. So let's select food and beverage, which actually in our case it could also be health and beauty products, right? But let's go with food beverages. We're not going to be very diligent with that. It really is up to your product. But as long as you don't do something silly like, put that product in furniture, unless you have a really cool table that's made out of chocolate, which could actually melt if you put a coffee glass on it. But anyway, food and beverages. And of course, we'll go to food items and candy, sweets, and gum. Now that's not enough. Let's find chocolate. Chocolate. Candy and chocolate. And in our case, it's also a vitamin. So let me type in vitamin. Vitamins and supplements. Perfect. Okay, so let's move to the next step. Now, also remember that if you go back, it will not ruin whatever you typed in or forward. It will keep that information. Okay, so right now what we have to do is to create that image. We already have an image ready for us. The only thing that we ask that the minimum of the size would be 512 pixels by 512, and meaning that also that they should be the width and the height should be the same. So it's square. And let's go to and let's find it. Perfect. There it is. Okay, it's uploaded to the system, and let's click next. Now this is the most important part. It looks a bit complicated, but I assure it's not. It's very, very simple. The paper grab amount is basically how much we're willing to pay for a user to physically interact with our product. It's sort of the same way like with search engine, how much you're willing to pay for a click, or how much you're willing to pay per 1,000 views. But here, because it's not a click, it's a physical interaction, this is the amount that you're willing to pay for that. So I'm going to go with 25 cents. You can actually go with the increments of cents. So it could be 26 or 27. It really is up to you. Now the budget advisor basically tells you that this is the product. It's in those categories, and it would look what other items, what other products or competing products are already existing in those categories. Now because this is a test account or a test server, we currently have no products running on it right now. So we don't have any other competing products. So it will tell you that the current the highest bid is right now standing at $0. So the recommendation for you is now you're at the top PPG bidder. So you're the top of the list. So yeah, let's keep it as is. This section, we'll talk about this a bit more after we do the quiz questions. But that basically allows users to interact with your product more than once. And there's a good reason to do that, but for now, we'll leave it at no. The budget limit will be basically how much we're willing to spend for this entire campaign. So it could be anything from $1 to $100,000. It really is up to you. Let's actually start with 10,000, which is a good number. And the estimated grabs or the total estimated grabs amount would go up to 40,000. So 40,000 people would interact with your product, with your campaign. You could change it at any point. You could reduce it. You could increase it. It really is up to you. So we'll start with 40,000. Okay, this step just it's asking us which territories or locations we want to push our campaign to. So we'll start with North America. We could actually go specifically to different, Canada, all these places. We'll start with entire of North America. Let's go forward. The schedule setting, just basically you set up when you want your campaign to start. Now this could actually go very well with, a launch of a new product in specific date, or some type of agreement we have with a retailer that's, some type of unique placement that you have of the item. So that could be very useful to start to, do the setting of when it starts. It really is up to you. We'll start it at, there you go, perfect. Now we could leave that open-ended. And the reason we're doing that is that we already have a grab estimate or the grab target that we would like to reach, which is 40,000. So we could let the campaign to run as long as we want, as long as it reaches that grab amount. Or we could tell it, no, after June 30th, finish the campaign. Okay? That's it. That's the last step. Now we have a campaign ready, but it's not ready to be activated just yet. The next two things we have to do is to upload a brand release form and create a quick quiz question or 3 quick quiz questions. We could also add surveys, and we'll talk about those in a bit. But let's start with the quiz questions. Now, we know that our product is a unique product. It's a vitamin, it's chocolate. It has several different aspects to it, which are already advertised on the product. It says that, it's has quite a few attributes to it that we really want the users to know about. So we'll arrange our question, or we'll come up with questions that, sort of a creative way that to push that to the user. So it's also fun for him to learn about, for him or her to learn about the item. You could also do it very straightforward, just ask them questions. What we don't recommend is actually ask them about the nutrition facts or ingredients that are just hard to read. Just focus on the most unique attributes of your product. Now, I already have a few questions set up here. And because we have 3 different questions, which, by the way, we could add as many as we want, but the minimum is 3. These are sort of a more creative ways to engage the consumer. So the first one is talking about the flu season is just about the corner, or just around the corner, and you would like to try to avoid from getting a flu. So the question asks, why is this product a good idea for you? And right now we have 4 different answers, and we're saying the first one, just because chocolate is pretty awesome, which is true. And the second one, just because it tastes delicious, which could also be very true. And the third one, because it contains minerals, including zinc and iodine, which help the immune system, which is very likely the right one. But we also had another one, just for to be silly, because flu virus doesn't like sugary food, which is quite possibly not correct. Now, you'll notice that I'm adding the just because, and the reason I'm doing that is it's just sometimes it's good to show attributes that are correct about a product, but we want them to know that these are not the only correct attributes for the answer. So it could be the right answer, but it's not only that. We're just trying to make it as simple as possible for them. So I'm just going to copy paste to make it quickly. Okay, we have all the answers right there. Now we want to choose which one is the correct one. So number 3 is the correct one. Now remember that you could actually, the reason we have 3 different questions is that we have some rotation. So if a user received that first question and then they answer it incorrectly, they get an alternative question. And after that, they get another alternative question. So what we could do if we really want to emphasize those attributes of the product, we could create the same question, but just rephrase it. In our case, we're doing something like that, but not exactly. So another cool attribute about the product. Your friend hates ingesting pills, especially big chunky ones that are hard to swallow. I don't know about you, but I take a multivitamin every day, and they're very, very large. So I'm still not used to swallowing them. Now the question: you really like your friend and wants her to be healthy. Why would you recommend this product to her? So a cool thing that we're doing here with this question is that we're showing an attribute about the product that is not really written on the packaging, but we're using information that it is on the packaging to let them get to the correct answer. So you could actually have unique stuff about the product that are not there in the packaging, but use the packaging information to get to those answers, which is kind of cool. So the first answer would be just because she loves chocolate. Who doesn't? And the second one, because this delicious product offers everything a multivitamin pill does without the need to swallow pills, which is very much the correct one. It's a chocolate, you just chew on it. And again, we have another one of those just because. So just because it tastes amazing. And the fourth one is all of the above, which can be correct because we already have one that says just because. So logically it would make no sense. Okay, and select answer 2. Let's go to the third question. What makes this product a unique addition to the daily diet of busy working people? Now, it's a multivitamin, so there's a few additions to a few cool things about it, and they're already written on the product right here. So we know that it contains antioxidants to support the immune system. It also contains vitamin C and E to protect against physical stress, and also chocolate is very healthy in moderation. So we know that we have all of these attributes, and we could actually say, yeah, all of the above are correct. And we could actually add an exclamation mark. Remember, this is we're not trying to fail people. It really is for their knowledge and discovery. So even if we add an exclamation mark to help them out, realize that this is the correct one, it's useful for us. So I'll just copy these. Okay, I copied all of them, and let's select answer number 4. Now what we want to do is save all the new answers, or in the questions. We could add more questions, by the way, as many as you want. It really is up to you. And the more you add, the more they have the opportunity to cycle through different questions. If we had multiple grab, if you remember we talked about the multiple grabs, that would mean that a user can, if they answered one question and they got it right, they can actually scan the product again, and they'll see an alternative question. They would never see the same question twice. So we can go through these until they learn everything they can about the product. So it's a cool discovery option that you can have multiple things that you would want them, or to want to make sure that they know about the product. So you could do that. All right, now we can go to the settings, back to the settings, or before we do that, let's go to our campaigns page. This is basically an overview of all the campaigns that are running right now. Again, this is a graphic, but the moment you have an active campaigns live, this will turn to be an interactive graph. Now we see the total number of campaigns, and here it is, we only have one. Total grabs, we currently have 0 because none of them are live, and total campaigns with grabs, which is again, it's 0 because none of them are live. Now we can create different groups to put campaigns. Now campaigns are in blue, groups are in orange. We can create different groups to put these campaigns under. So for example, if we had chocolates under one group, and by the way, you can create a group like so. So for example, I create sweets. And then there we go. We have Sweets product, and I can actually put that underneath that. I can actually have salty. Different groups. But let's go back to the campaign. Now we see that the status says that it's incomplete. And we also see the highest cost per grab, which is right now running. Again, it's 0 because there are no competing grabs. We do see how much our cost per grab, or PPG, is running right now. And the current total cost, which has cost us nothing because we haven't even run the campaign just yet. And also we have this cool little graphic that's showing that, it's a puzzle, it's not complete just yet. So let's go to the campaign. That's the campaign manager. We have all the information that we want about the campaign. So obviously all the product name and the budget that we set up, the grab target, the locations. Each one of these are actually very easy to edit. You can edit them very quickly. Again, we see the graphic that will become a real-time graph once the campaign goes live. We can see the performance of the campaign, and we could check the budget settings. Again, you can see the highest cost per grab right now that's standing in the system, and what is my cost per grab. Per grab. We can go to the quick ways, and we can create surveys, which we'll do very shortly after this tutorial. Again, multiple grabs. Now I can see that I actually have 3 different grabs. Because I have 3 different answers or 3 different questions under the quick quiz, I can set up different grabs to the same amount. So it could be 2 or 3. If I had more questions, I can set up 2 more. Now the status says it's incomplete, and we have the message here. It says something has to be corrected. And it tells us that the brand release form is not assigned. So we have all of this information, but there's a brand approval form that is missing. Now, what are brand approval forms? They're basically letting us know that you have the right or the permission to advertise this product. And to get those, we can actually go to our account, and you could find them either here or the brand management. And if you click right here to download, you'll see it's a PDF. That just basically saying that, the ownership of information, that you either the owner of the intellectual property, or you're authorized to represent. For example, a lot of you from advertising agencies will definitely use that here. So a bit of information about you, the title, the contact phone number, just so we can make sure that it is you have the rights to do that. Okay. So let's go back to my campaigns. Oh, by the way, to create one, you just, after you finished, you scan it to your computer, just go to your computer, upload the form, name it. So for example, in our case, it would be a test form or Vita lease, depending on the product that you're advertising. And then there you have it ready right here. You can actually select to delete them. All right, let's go to the campaign. I already have one that I've set up before. So I'm going to quick select and test form and save. Okay, now if we refresh the page, yeah, everything is ready. The status is saying complete, and it's ready to activate. Now, before we activate, we'll go to the next tutorial, which will basically talk a little bit about surveys, and then we'll go to activation. So I'll see you in 2 seconds.